Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel for the Summer of Suffering, week number 3. We have this Photon boss once again here, and I'm going to show you how to do this fight with Omega Sentinel. Now with Omega Sentinel, you do have access to a pre-fight with tracking that will allow you to counter the miss. I don't really take advantage of it in this fight, however, I'm not going to be using heavies, so selecting that tracking pre-fight just kind of gives you like an emergency escape valve, so you can safely parry her and hit into her if you have that tracking up. So once again, we'll talk through the nodes here. The first thing you want to know is that your combat power rate is reduced to 0, and instead you have access to this permanent passive power gain, which you can see on me there. And that will be giving you about 3 bars of power every 20 seconds. A little less than that because whenever you trigger debuff, you get that petrify from Photon, so it is slowed down a little bit. Couple of other nodes you want to worry about. If your power ever hits 3 bars, you're probably going to die, and if it ever reaches 0, you're also going to die. So the trick in this fight is managing your specials, because you can only use one every 15 seconds with that stage fright node, and then you also need to manage her in pure light form. And if you don't know how to counter her special 1 in pure light form, check out my guide on Photon. I have a section devoted in that video to how to fight her. But the general idea here is that you want to just dex once when you're baiting a special, kind of wait to see what she does. If she hits your block, that's fine. If she fires off the special, you're already blocking, and then you can counter it like I just did there. Now with the stage fright node, the way to manage your power, you can kind of take 2 approaches here. The first is you can just take the damage from the degen by using your specials before the timer is up. I prefer to play it a little bit cleaner, so after I use a special, my next goal is to hit her block once with a light attack, and that's going to trigger a petrify on you, which will reduce, or reverse rather, the power gain that you're getting from the node. So about a bar to a bar and a half of power. Try and hit her block with 1 light attack. You don't want to do it more than that. And you can always safely hit her block with a medium to create space if you need to. So just kind of like alternate that. Like in this fight, I'm alternating special 2s and then hitting in her block to wait out that stage fright timer. Now there are ways that you can better optimize Omega Sentinel for this fight. You notice like when I use my special 2, I usually only have 1, maybe 2 of her personal debuffs active, so I'm not really getting as much incinerate damage as you normally would be getting in an Omega Sentinel fight. And beyond that, Photon has really nice energy resistance, so the incinerate debuff you can see there is not really doing much. In this fight with Omega Sentinel, you're really more reliant on her really high base attack. She has one of the highest base attack values in the game, and that's where your damage is going to come from. Now, full disclosure, I had just finished my last war fight, which was a boss, so I was pretty heavily boosted for this, as you can tell by Omega Sentinel's PI. But honestly, this is really a safe fight with her no matter what, because with those armor ups, you're negating a lot of the chip damage that you would be otherwise taking from Photon, and she can handle a lot of abuse before she dies. So, you know, don't necessarily have to boost for this fight with her, but again, I was already boosted, so I was going to just take advantage of it. This is actually my second solo with Omega Sentinel. I recorded one yesterday or Wednesday, whenever the fight came out. It was super sloppy, and then a couple folks on Twitter were asking about how to use her in this fight, so I ended up just recording a second one. Yeah, you can basically take the same strategy with anybody in this fight. Again, the skill ask here is primarily, number 1, managing your power gain, and number 2, do you know how to dodge and counter Photon Special 1 in pure light form? If you can figure out those 2 things, then the rest of the fight will make a lot more sense to you. Last thing I want to note about this fight, of course, is that Omega Sentinel satisfies the 2022 objective. I had initially gone in with Black Cat, who was also released that year, but I actually did not really like the fight with Black Cat because her ability accuracy reduction actually turns off the petrify when you hit her block. So you basically just have to tank the degen if you want to do the fight with her, and I didn't really want to do that. So that's all for this one. If this video was helpful for you in any way, please remember to hit that like button for me. And also let me know in the comments below who you ended up using for this and the other objectives. And as always, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.